Freedom Sings was born 15 years ago on the stage of the Bluebird Cafe. I was looking for a way to communicate First Amendment values to people across this country, and quickly discovered that among the biggest advocates of free speech in America are those who speak freely using their guitars and keyboards, the musicians of Music City. And they enlisted, and they joined us on stage at the Bluebird, and we did an entire evening of songs that had been censored or challenged. Audience reaction was so powerful, we thought, hey, we could take this and turn it into a stage show, a musical, and take it to college campuses. And that's what we've been doing now for 15 years. You look at the history of America, and the Founding Fathers, we give them credit for giving us freedom, but they didn't get it exactly right. They didn't set the slaves free. They didn't give women an equal voice and vote. And it took the power of the First Amendment to turn that around. And it took song to turn that around. It's a way to teach constitutional law with an electric guitar that I don't think anyone else has explored before. It's been a joy to be part of it. Freedom Sings is a living, breathing thing, and in part because censorship continues. So when we began, we had a core of about 25 songs that have been challenged, some for interesting and surprising reasons. Let's Spend the Night Together by the Rolling Stones. Ed Sullivan said they couldn't play that song because it was sexually provocative, so Mick Jagger had to sing Let's Spend Some Time Together. But that's history, and in the last 10 years, all kinds of new material has developed in interesting ways. After 9/11, a major radio corporation sent a list of songs intending well, they thought might not be appropriate to play after 9/11, but it took on a life of its own, and those 100 songs issued by a single executive ended up being censored in a way. Songs you would not guess. Free Fallin', for example, by Tom Petty was on that list. Very recently, LMFAO, Sexy and I Know It. A 6-year-old boy in Colorado sang that to another schoolmate, and it was reported. And the little boy was kicked out of grade school and accused of sexual harassment. Total overreaction. But that's the way it is with popular music. It provokes reactions to people, for better and for worse. And so often we're intolerant of ideas we're uncomfortable with, and so that's why the First Amendment's around. And that new material makes the show even more current and contemporary for college students. Music has meaning, music has power, and Freedom Sings tells that story in a way that we hope will inspire.